You will grow up between two cultures. It will be instinctive for you to move from one to the other. But for me, it was a long journey. I wrote these words when you were 3 months old in this book where I recounted my arrival here in Nepal and my first impressions. Boudha, this little area of Kathmandu, had become my neighborhood. I had chosen to stay here. And this is where you learn to walk, in front of the eyes of Boudha, a mystical place where the vapors of incense, the sound of bells, the chanting of mantras mingle. You know, I come from far away, from the shores of the ocean, a place where, for us, the lighthouse is our landmark. And I think I have made the stupa my new lighthouse, a place that reassures us, that marks our land, our home. I loved it at first sight, when I looked into his eyes, those who look at the horizon and spread the peace. I didn't know it at that time, but that's what made you open your eyes too. My adventure here was the beginning of yours. As you know, I first followed your grandmother here, and today, seeing you together gives even more meaning to this whole adventure. One day, you might wonder how it was here. Things change so fast, and this day comes when we look back and search for our memories. And I feel like I have to give you this testimony, a kind of poem, to show you how it was when you were young, to remind you this place that I made mine and where you grew up. Boudha has changed my life and has seen yours begin. So let me tell you what is the vibration of your home. A sound accompanies the sunrise every morning. It makes the dust of the neighborhood dance. It rings in the ears of the sleeping residents and proclaims the start of the day. This sound comes from monasteries. It's a puja, an invocation ritual, a religious ceremony during which monks recite mantras written on Tibetan parchments. It is with this melody, which thanks the Buddha and asks for patience and wisdom, that the souls of the neighborhood wake up. Boudha is a stronghold of Tibetan Buddhism. Bodhnat means the village of Buddha. Living in this neighborhood means accepting the color carmine and rediscovering a spirituality sometimes buried within us. The vibration of the neighborhood begins here with this morning sound that reminds everyone that this place is sacred and unique. It's impossible not to feel this vibration, which spreads from the monastery to the stupa and its surrounding alleys. And that's how the day dawns, and Buddha's eyes open on our neighborhood. The stupa of Bodhnat stands as the heart of the district, a religious sanctuary, a place of life, meetings and celebrations. And already, very early on, the believers begin to circle around. It's the Kora, a ritual that purifies the soul. Mala in the left hand, while the right spin the prayer wheels. People pray, sometimes prostrate themselves. So let the wheels spin, and a smile always appears. Boudha awakens the peace in us. Near a large bell, cauldrons filled with incense project clouds of smoke, whose smell is pleasant to me. Seeds are thrown to the pigeons that flutter in the incense vapors. I immediately liked letting myself be drawn into this whirlwind of life. I had the impression of witnessing a people, a belief, and perhaps an era. I read the respect and devotion on the faces. I think I can say that I saw the face, and it conquered me, changed me, and made me a better person. Perhaps, therefore, a better father. Seeing you today walking around here with such ease is precious. You know, I had the chance to travel through Nepal. I saw the trekking path popular with tourists, and I also saw an isolated Nepal where few people venture. We often recount our most distant adventures, those where we felt like an explorer. But we often forget to tell about our neighborhood, our home, our dusty but always bright paradise. However, it is a real adventure to sit down and to patiently look at a unique place and define it as its breath. A still journey. Telling the story of a neighborhood is a travel to the heart of the everyday's life. It is expressing why each alley we have walked has become ours, why each element, each character, each smell basically belong to us a little. Tell why this neighborhood will always live within us. My daughter, I'm writing to convey to you. To convey to you what I loved here. Like this street community. The street is the mirror of a people. This is where the novice gets his first impression of the place he is discovering. And I was one of them, one novice coming from far away. The streets of Boudha infuse a thrilling energy. They are a true place of life where the noisy chant of a society full of vitality can be heard. To walk there is to accept getting lost and being jostled. My first time here, I quickly understood that I had set foot on another planet. And I loved this life on the street. Sitting along the walls, shoemakers, equipped with their soles, glue, and threads, give new life to our shoes. Sitting along the walls, we sell various things, vegetables, chilies, called korsani. Sometimes the various things for sale start to move on carts, and so come to you corn, nuts, or fruits. In fact, The streets of Boudha are in motion. A functioning mess, a moving mess of shoemakers, small canteens, umbrella repairers, dressmakers, sellers of brooms, kitchen utensils, knife sharpeners. The stalls line up one after the other, and the snacks are eaten. The pani puri in the afternoon, and then, when night falls, we don't forget the shabaleh. The streets swirl to the rhythm of the kabadis who clean so many things, the tempu which transport people, and the smell spread, those of momo, which of course everyone loves, that of the meat which comes from the butcher's shop, and the dust from the cup makers slowly reaches the television repairman. Here we carry, we transport, and sometimes the street is saturated. Because Boudha wants to go too fast. Because Boudha has already gone too fast. The concrete is impatient, too much of a hurry. In Fulbari Street, which means the field of flowers, there are only a few square meters left for these beauties to express themselves. Concrete surrounds them. Boudha wants to grow up too quickly, and sometimes forgets herself. I hope that when you grow up, all the spirit of this place won't have disappeared. But after all, the spirit of this place also lies in its people, those who made me feel at home here. Because it's a neighborhood life, a proximity, the feeling of being part of a place in the world, in a space of time. When your grandmother came here, it was to take care of the children's future, to take them on a path, a school path. When dawn settles on our streets and the whirlwind of school children begins, the first rays of sun warm the dust. Laughter mixes and hands intertwine. The path to school is a path of hope, and that's what I want for you. Seeing you today taking the same path that I have witnessed for years also gives incredible meaning to our adventure here. Seeing you today being part of the big family that your grandmother created makes me believe in the word destiny. Some evenings, when the candles light up, I toast to the change of course that a ship can make. I dropped my anchor here, at the foot of a new lighthouse, in a harbor that I have made my own. And I toast to our meeting. And I hope that Boudha toasts to your mixed heart.